Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video in a series of TypeScript beginner tutorials. Today we're going to be looking at building on all of the concepts we've learned so far by creating a program. So this program is going to take a set of grades from students over two classes. It's then going to compare those grades against a pass mark, and then it's going to let us know whether each student in that class has passed or failed their exam based on their mark. So to get started, we're going to initialize and assign some values to a couple of arrays. So we're going to start by saying const class 1 grades. Now this is an array of numbers, so we need to say number, open and close a pair of brackets, equals, and we've got open and close a pair of brackets and say 10, 30, 40, say 20, 44, 39, and say 35. Going to close that line of code with a semicolon, and then we're going to do the same on line 2, but change this to class 2 grades and change up some values here. So we're going to say 20, make this 35 for example, make this 12, 50, 80, and let's say 67. We're also going to need something to compare these against, so we're going to say const pass mark is a number, and this is equal to 30, so that's our threshold. Okay, cool, so we've got our grades all stored in a nice array over two classes, and we've got the pass mark that each student needs to reach in order to pass their exam. So we're going to want to use a function here because we need to run the same code twice and we don't want to have to rewrite the code that we're writing twice. So we're going to say function check grades, and this function is going to take an array of numbers, grades, and it's also going to take a threshold, and that's going to be a number 2. So within this function we are going to return an array of booleans or true or false values that represent whether the student has passed or failed. So we're going to say let pass or fail, and this is going to be a boolean array equals, and we're just going to have a blank array there that we can add pass or fails to. So we're going to loop through each of the grades in the array, and to do that we're going to say for let I number equals 0, I less than grades dot length I plus plus. And then within this we're going to say if grades in the position of I is greater than or equal to the threshold, meaning that the student has passed, we're going to say pass or fail dot push, and we're going to say true, meaning that student has passed. Else, there's only one other option, that the student has failed, so we're going to push false into the array there. Then before we come out of our function, we're going to say return pass or fail. Okay, cool, so we have our function, we have our pass mark and our arrays. So what we can do now is we can say console.log, we can say check grades, and we can say class 1 grades and pass the pass mark as the threshold, and we can do the same for class 2 grades. And what our function is going to do, or what our program will do, is it's going to console log the result, which is a boolean array of this function. This function takes class 1 grades, it loops through the grades and tries them against a pass mark that equals threshold, and it will add to that array that it's going to return either true or false, whether they've passed or failed. So if we click run and check our console, we can see that false, 10 was below the threshold, true, 30 just met the threshold, true, 40 was above the threshold, false, true, 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 and so on, false, true, true, true. And the same for class 2, we've got 2 fails below the threshold, 1 above the threshold, 1 below the threshold, and the rest above the threshold. That's our function and our program using all of the concepts we've learned so far. If you found this video useful, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who might find this interesting. I'll see you in the next video.